I believe, since that says we are live now for 5 seconds, this is officially
We're
episode
on.
82. Hey, this thing is on. Episode 82 of Slurp Toast, a podcast. Give me one moment while I make our Instagram live. And now we're on StreamYard. We're on YouTube and we're on Instagram. Still
All
haven't
right.
gotten Facebook working again since they changed their numbers, but we're working on that as well.
Oh, yeah.
We've been zucked. So anyway,
We talk about stuff like this at work because it's like, oh, should we be on Twitter? I'm like, no.
yeah, I don't even know if you can stream to Twitter. We have a Twitter handle. I will pop up its address later. It is a ghost town on there. I don't ever put anything there.
No, I pop in every now and again, and it's like, ugh, this is gross. I need a shower. The algorithm's messed up. It just feeds all this toxic nonsense. It's just, ugh.
Yeah.
Always wondered what, Shawshank Redemption when, Timothy was digging through the sewer pipe to escape from prison. It's like, oh, it's like going on, it's like going on Twitter.
X does not mark the spot. That is a fact. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the fish.
There we go.
Thank you. So this is episode 82 of our little podcast. We are inching ever closer and closer to
episode 100.
100. I want to be the one to apologize to you and to all of our French listeners for the gap here. Like 2 weeks ago. As you and they may know, I started a new job in November, and one of the things that entailed was a complete revamping of the accounting system, which has led to some long nights at the office and a general disinterest in doing anything but sleeping in the interim. So that's the reason, such as it is.
Okay.
So, but we're back. We are back. And I have a couple of things I want to try out fresh tonight.
All right, let's go.
All right, you want to do the first one?
I don't know what's the first one.
Oh, well, hold on. I'm gonna.
It's
do
new.
something.
I don't even know what this is going to be.
You don't. You ready? Well, can you hold on? That's not the right one. Hold on. I'm going to add something to the stage. Before I do that, let me do this, and then I'm going to do this. Whoa! We can do reaction videos now. I know how to do it. Look at this. Should we do this?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's, before we do that, I'm gonna drop it back down to here for a second. I want to just kind of talk about the Fantastic Four. What we're talking about is the trailer for the new Fantastic Four movie, Fantastic Four: First Steps, which released yesterday. And Steve and I have I think I can safely say the Fantastic Four is a favorite of both of ours.
Oh yeah.
It's, as you know, the first Marvel comic, obviously, but in the early days of my not sleeping, when I had children, I dragged you, as I often do, into an endeavor where we wrote some Fantastic Four fan fiction, much to the dismay of the other people in the group, where we just had wacky adventures.
Yes, that's putting it nicely. We weren't as interested in writing, like, I want to do Superman versus Batman, and you're like, we're going to turn the negative zone into a driving range.
That may have been our finest moment, by the way.
And then have the golf balls come to life as a setup for an invasion by a nihilist.
The title of that episode, in case you haven't figured it out, was Fantastic Four, F-O-R-E. Still one of my favorite things we ever did. And of course, we also had the 2-issue arc where we had no action to speak of, just a trial.
That's right.
Where we had Matt Murdock defending the Fantastic Four against Roxxon with some other, and the Mole Man was involved somehow. I don't remember, but
That's right. Where we got hologram Johnny and Ben got hologram Reed to say, "Hey, Reed, say we're your only hope. You're our only hope."
And because I think that's why I like this trailer so much. For us, it was about the family first and the family dynamic and the superheroing second, right? Because my thing on the Fantastic Four has always been they're scientists and adventurers before they're superheroes. And that's the one thing no one in Hollywood ever seems to figure out. And they're very clearly leaning heavily into the family thing in this new trailer. So let's take a look, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
And talk all you want. It's gonna.
What I was gonna say is, you're gonna open it up, and we're gonna see Pedro Pascal doing his best Cesar Romero impersonation.
refusing to get rid of his
shave the
mustache.
mustache. Yes.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday
It's supposed to be playing the audio, but I guess it's just going to do subtitles, which is okay. We can talk over.
I've got audio in my.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Herbie,
me.
how's
Okay.
that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay, well, never mind. You will. So we've seen the very great The Temple's Reed Richards with his mustache.
Okay, is
The
this
first
guy
shock
good
to me
or
was
what?
Herbie, by the way.
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic.
Love that Herbie's
Not because
in
it's
it.
not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
50 data tape reels for eyes.
-5.
Before we went up the
Yes.
first time.
We might have
couldn't
to
turn
work on
invisible.
sound for this because it's blaring out on my
Ben
end.
wasn't a rock.
Is it really?
The best pilot in the world,
Yeah.
right here.
Okay, well, I'm not
Best
sure what's
looking
going on.
image.
I'm sorry, I can't hear it. Maybe it's because I'm
Johnny
sharing
never
it.
caught fire.
Let him run.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ben has always
I
been a
love
rock.
the Ben Grimm.
Johnny
I know a lot
is
of people have been
Johnny.
complaining about it because he's wearing a suit, and it's probably because they're still
I'm
tweaking
right here.
CGI. I'll give them that. They got 6
Whatever life
months.
throws
I
at
don't
us.
care. Johnny
Face
Human
it
Torch.
together.
I talked right over the John Malkovich cameo, which I'll get back to in a minute. But no, there. Oh no, I didn't. There he was. And then Galactus, who the working theory is he can change size, which makes sense. So that's that's the Fantastic Four trailer for the new
There we
movie,
go.
which is very exciting. And I'm going to just stop sharing that screen and go away and go back to us. There we go. So that's all right. So that's the Fantastic Four trailer. What were your thoughts when you saw it yesterday morning? Because you texted me before I could text you.
No, I got a big kick out of it because I think it seems that it presented that the focus was on the family first, and then the superheroes are going to be secondary.
Right. Yeah.
And I kind of, they kind of show the cuts of the cuts of Ben in the trailer. You kind of think that's kind of, you kind of think, kind of, nice job, Steve. Learn to speak the fucking language. No, but what I was going to say is I think that there's going to be, that's like your emotional center, probably. It's going to be something on Ben.
For sure.
Especially with him in the suit, in the hat, the trench coat on the street with the tie and stuff, that there's some,
Yeah, and Sue says Ben's always been a rock, right?
Exactly.
So that's he always is. The Thing is the emotional center of that whole thing. It spins around him. He's the lukewarm water, if you will. I really liked the retro futuristic vibe they did. I think that's really cool and should be a lot of fun. And it's going to look so much different than every other MCU movie. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Which they need some separation from each other.
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to get Strange New World, Brave New World, New World Order, whatever the hell the title is.
Right. That's next week.
That's next week. And then you're going to get Thunderbolts after that. And those exist not just in the same universe, but in the same family of films.
Right.
That Bucky and Red Guardian and Black Widow all come out of that group.
Yeah.
This, fun. Anyway, this I think will, hopefully, hopefully it's an aesthetic that they will be able to maintain. That's their world building, and that'll hold together, and it won't then just kind of morph into the rest of the MCU.
Yeah, I'm of two opinions here. I mean, while I think it would be really cool to see them, folded in to the MCU, I would be just as good with them staying in their own place, and because they've got plenty of villains and things to explore that they don't necessarily need
to jump in.
Everyone else, right? I think they won't be able to not roll them in for Secret Wars. I think I don't think there's any way around that, but maybe they get them back to shiny Gotham. Which is kind of what I'm thinking that is. It's shiny animated Batman Gotham is what that is.
It's clean Gotham.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. I put it in the family chat immediatly, and then no one responded, and I was sad. And then the boys, I said, anyone, and the boys both piped in because I think I've told the story here. I took them to see that last abomination of a Fantastic Four movie when they were probably 10 or under, because whenever that came out, I'm not even going to look because I hate that movie with the power of 1,000.
Oh, the Miles Teller one?
Yeah, that thing's horrible.
Oh, that was bad. I watched that.
Ugh.
Yeah, it is an abomination. It was just, and I rewatched, I think either the first or the second, might have been the first one, where it was directed by just MCD or whatever, McD.
Right.
And it's one of the first times I've ever paid attention or really close attention to cuts and the choices that directors make, to sort of tell the story.
Right.
The cinematics of it, where most of the time you just watch it and it's face here, then face here, then face here, then face here. And it was just odd directorial cuts, odd beats, somebody saying a dramatic speech, but then the cut is like Michael Chiklis, just standing there, not thinged out.
Right.
And you're just kind of like, what the hell? Why do we have to see him look confused just because Reed's talking over everybody's head kind of thing? And the Miles Teller one was nigh unwatchable.
I literally, one of the few times in my life I gave serious thought to leaving a movie. I was mad for days. Literally mad. Like I remember specifically, I was taking the boys to see it, and I put on Facebook the picture, and I was like, "Please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck." And then 2 hours later, oh God, it sucked. Oh God, it sucked. Oh God, it sucked.
Worse than I could have thought possible.
I don't know. I don't understand how you can get such a bad read on that property as that movie is. But
because
why do we have to make it a body horror movie? I was like, why?
Okay, so the thing is this literal pile of rocks. It's held together, I guess, by a very tiny black hole because the gravitational pull keeps him together. It was terrible.
Yeah,
I'm watching it going, I should finish it. I'm 20. Will you check the Netflix thing? Like 25 minutes. I can make 25 minutes, but no more than 25. If we're not at credits at 25, I'm off. I'm done.
Yeah,
I don't care about the last shot of them looking into the sunset or whatever.
The payoff when they say that would be fantastic. Because the movie hadn't been bad enough up until that, right? That was
four of us are in together, and we are fat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this just washes that horrible memory from my mind and fills me with happiness and joy. I am very excited. I cannot say how excited I am for that. So, and like Laura has even told me that I'm on my own for Brave New World Order next week. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so we've come full circle because I went to see Iron Man by myself. Mm-hmm. Because no one wanted to see an Iron Man movie, right? Mm-hmm. And so now I'm back to going by myself. And then I showed her the trailer last night. She was like, I'll see that. I'm like, yeah, it's got Pedro in it. You'll see it. Okay, fine, whatever.
Yes.
Excuse me. And I'm also, fingers crossed that John Malkovich is the Red Ghost and I get the Soviet super monkeys. So
that would be cool as shit.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because that was a Cold War character that ran a parallel mission, but instead of humans on the ship, it was monkeys. And it was him and 3 monkeys. So you got anyway. That's my hope for that because as you can tell, I like me a monkey. My family has started referring to this as the monkey room, by the way.
The monkey room. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah. So Fantastic Four. There's that. Did Did you watch the Daredevil trailer? I'm not going to pull that one up, but
No, I did not. I did not. I
there's
didn't
a
know there was a trailer. I just figured it'd show up on Netflix
oh no, there's
or Disney Plus or wherever the hell it's going to
yeah.
be.
Hang on a second. I need to plug my computer in. I've got a low battery signal. Hang on. Let's try that. Okay. Well, you want me to try and pull it up? I could do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's a trailer for Daredevil Born Again. Same cast. Wilson Fisk is mayor now, and
Nice.
and everybody's in it except for Elektra. We had Punisher, Daredevil, Foggy, Karen, and Kingpin. So and another mystery character who I'm not sure who is, but I think other people know who it is. I just don't. So
Not Echo.
not Echo. She's
Okay,
busy
good.
doing something else somewhere else. But yeah, that one looks good. There were, the obligatory hallway fights in the trailer. So I don't think
Not a
Disney's going to
Daredevil
go.
show without those. So.
Yeah, I don't think Disney's going to soften it up too much. So
Yeah. Hope they don't.
I don't either, because that was actually the best of the Netflix shows. Was the Daredevil
100%.
and I mean, it wasn't even close. So that's all I have to say about that. My wife had a question for you, and I told her I would ask because she wanted it on the podcast. She's worried about a TV outbreak in Kansas City. Are you experiencing that?
We're not allowed to talk about it.
Only if you're in charge of medical records.
If you're in charge of Bruno or medical records, you can't talk about it.
Right, exactly. TV and Bruno. That's
TV and Bruno are off the table. No, we're fine. I mean, the weird thing is it's the biggest, which because TB has largely been eradicated through the use of vaccines.
oh no.
I don't know what the largest outbreak in the history is. That like 10 people? Is it 100 people? We have somebody sick at work, and I will whisper, it's like, where's so and so? It's like, oh, they're still in the hospital. And they're like, why? And I'm like, tuberculosis or fentanyl.
So I see what you did there. I see what you're doing.
So yeah, that is the strangest thing, is to know that you're living in an area with a large outbreak of a deadly respiratory disease, and nobody talks about shit. So
okay,
week 3 or whatever, week 4 of the presidency is going great.
Yes, dismantling anything that might be of use to stem that outbreak.
Anybody, yeah.
Anybody everywhere.
We're not allowed to talk about diseases, because if we don't talk about them, everybody's healthy except for the sick people, and we don't know where they are because we don't talk about them.
And there's no tracking.
There's no tracking. Yeah.
There's no records anymore.
No records. Just we're all on our own.
Giving power back to the people. Power to the people.
Watching, it's like, somebody was referring to his Middle East peace plan as Gaza-Lago.
Yeah. Like we were cleaning up last night, and Laura goes, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Trump wants to develop the Gaza Strip," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I mean,
what are you going to do with the 2 million Palestinians?"
Details, schmetails. Somebody's already done the demo for him. Thanks a lot.
That just means that Benny gets an apartment overlooking the sea.
Oh, Jesus.
From the river to the sea, one long golf course. It's going to be beautiful, folks.
We're going to build the finest golf course on the Mediterranean. Not
open on Saturdays, sadly enough, but 6 days a week, fabulous golf. No one golfs on Sabbath. Shamas Sabbath, whatever.
Don't putt on Sabbath.
We don't putt on, we don't roll. We don't roll on the Sabbath.
Got to work the Big Lebowski reference in. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they Benjamin Netanyahu is the dude.
Yeah. I think he might be Don. No, actually, we have Donnie. Never mind. Shut up, Donnie.
Shut up, Donnie. We're going to build a golf course. Shut up the fuck up. Netanyahu would be Walter. Donnie would be Donnie. Or Donnie would be Don Jr.
It's now there you go.
Hey, Dad, what about the cocaine, Dad? What about the cocaine, Dad? Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Shut
Shut
the
the
fuck
fuck
up,
up,
Don.
Donnie.
Shut up. Oh.
Shut the fuck up, man. I'll get you, though. I'll get you a whole dozen full of toes. I'll get you. We have. How many Palestinian toes do you want, Donald? I'll get you for those. Yes. There's just shit going on that every day you wake up and you're like,
If
I really can't believe people
some
miss
new
this.
shit has come to light.
Exactly. That's because you're not privy to the new shit. Where you hear it and you're like, well, that's not real. You're like, tick, 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 tick. Oh, but goddamn, he really is proposing redeveloping the entire Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
must be the $1 trillion investment the Saudis are going to make.
The press secretary today said, yeah, he's talking about redevelopment for the Palestinians and others. There it is. And others.
Wait a
Yes,
minute, because
they
he
can live here
also said,
as long as they can afford to rent, they can live here.
I was going to say, yeah, and others. And it's like, he's saying that, but at the same time saying, really hope that, Egypt and Jordan will just take and absorb 2 million.
Yes. And everyone, including Saudi Arabia, is going, shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. We're not doing that. There's a reason they are where they are.
Yeah. It's the Scandinavian Blitz in the Middle East is what it is. We're just going to push them into the water.
Yeah, and that press secretary, my God, she is dumber than dumb.
Yeah. But she's blonde.
She's blonde and 23 and doesn't know a damn thing that she's talking about. I like the, they get sworn in. There's a private air crash, and the one guy, you're like, oh, dude, the real world just got real, didn't it, Mr. Secretary? Hexif, you could tell, is sweating through his shirt, trying to, make it through his copy.
And hope that his tattoo doesn't show while he's sweating through his shirt.
Which, it does peek out under.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, come on, man. And then you have Republican senators who can look a camera in the eye and go, he told us he wouldn't do that. And it's like 4 years of history. What the fuck, man?
8.
You're incredibly, incredibly naive, or you don't give a fuck. And I'm so hard into the don't give a fuck line.
Yeah.
Although I will ask what the people up there in Detroit who, did that protest vote, how's that going for you?
Well, and I'm sitting here going, I don't eat eggs, so that doesn't bother me at all.
No.
But, a lot of people are mad. Well, you get what you paid for, I guess. Wow.
Just like, wait a minute. You are getting exactly what you voted for.
Mm-hmm.
They're not following the Constitution. You've got Elmo who's like, oh, well, we're going to use AI to run the government. I'm sorry. There is a whole genre of fucking science fiction that says putting robots in charge of that is a bad idea.
Has no one in the administration seen the Terminator? I mean, is that not?
Yeah.
This is Skynet bullshit.
You give a computer all the choices to make about the government. That's how you get a Skynet.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. We've known this since the 80s. If you weren't so coked out then, you might have remembered it.
God damn. Oh, my God. Yeah, we were too young to be coked out in the 80s.
iRobot. I'll give you iRobot. Anything. Pick one.
RoboCop.
Right.
Okay. Here's a fun fact. Not fun fact. I've shown pictures, and if we'd say what's on your desk, it's upstairs in the kitchen. But I bought the first Micronauts omnibus, which
I saw your picture the other day. Yes,
it's like 2 years of the book collected. And when you're reading how they wrote Baron Karza, you realize that there is a template for fascism, and it's not known. Baron Karza is a scientist who traded the secret of immortality for money and power. So the elite live this wonderful life of luxury. The middle class struggles hoping to make enough to become the elite, and the poor, they either become dog soldiers or they get ground up in the body banks, which they never fully explain what the hell the body banks are. But I always imagine as a big pool of human goo that they like scoop it out and put it in a mold or something. And
I'm thinking of them using Max as a blood bag in Fury Road. It's very similar. You know.
I will also say, as you know, I have a thing against Alan Milgram as an inker.
Yes, that is well known. Yes.
So,
did you discover where that came from with your collection?
Yes, the first comic book series that I my buddy was into X-Men. I saw this thing, Micronauts. I had some of the toys. I got the book. That's how I got into comic books, was Micronauts.
Right.
That was my gateway. So I start off with Michael Golden art, and my buddy is reading X-Men, John Byrne, right?
Right, the early John Byrne.
The early John Byrne.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they all looked
when he took it out of the body bags, because
Yeah.
that's where that book was before John Byrne got a hold of it. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, so the first couple of issues are inked by Joseph Rubinstein, I think, and the art's fantastic. It's very rich. It's very deep. It's very, there's a lot of black playing off the light, so you've got like a lot of drama in the drawings. And then later, obviously, that guy couldn't keep up, and like Bob McLeod fills in for an issue. Yeah, the guy who draws the very sleek, very clean Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
So all the contrast and all that light and dark just. And then the next couple of issues are inked by Alan Milgram, and that's where I know it all started. Even though I might have been, I don't know, 13, 14, I don't know.
You probably weren't even that old.
No, but I knew then that there was something wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah. So the Micronauts go 1 year with Michael Golden, an annual by Steve Ditko.
Wow.
Howard Chaykin then does layouts for a couple of issues.
What?
Gil Kane does a couple of issues. Yeah. And then Pat Broderick does his first work for Marvel. And Kelly Jones will pick up in like Omnibus 2, I think.
Oh, wow.
You want to talk about a slate of
disparate art styles. That gave me whiplash just trying to envision it. I'm like, anytime you throw Chaykin in the middle of something, it's just bizarre.
It is a very, I'm surprisingly it's held up. I mean, I don't read it and think, oh my God, this is terrible. Because like I read some of the Doug Bench, whatever, Werewolf by Night stuff, Defender stuff, and that stuff's almost unreadable because it's so it's
of a time.
It's of the time, and the voice has that meanwhile at the Hall of Justice kind of a tone to it.
Aquaman makes a peanut butter and jelly
sandwich. And it's jellyfish on bread, and he's slapping on peanut butter.
Meanwhile, I have to capture that somewhere and put it on the board. Just meanwhile.
But yes, so reading those has been kind of fun,
That's interesting. I never read that book, so I don't have any point of reference for it. But I'm curious, and I started reading because I never read it when it was coming out. The Peter David Hulk run last week.
Oh yeah, that one gets a lot of talk. I like.
Yeah, it's interesting because he picks up because the forward of the first collection is him talking about how nobody wanted to write Hulk and nobody wanted him to write anything, so it was a match made in heaven. So he was part of the sales team apparently, and had done some fill-in work, and nobody was a big fan of his work. They said, you can start where the last guy left off, you can tear it all down, even whatever, we don't care, it's the Hulk. And he did exactly that. And it's interesting because when he starts, McFarlane starts with him in the lockstep, so you can see both of them developing. It's very interesting. Like for the first 12 issues, it's McFarlane becoming McFarlane, right? Because the first couple issues, it's very, House of Ideas art style with a little of his, but not much. And it just progresses more and more. You start getting the big floppy hair and the big giant glasses on Banner and the lines, and it becomes and the Hulk looks very McFarlane-y. And then they get to because he was like, David said, I could do 6, maybe I'll get 12 in. So he had a 12-issue arc. And then they reach that, and that's when McFarlane exits, and it's a different guy. And it's in the same collection where they switch artists, and it's the same thing. It's very jarring for the first couple of issues where it's not McFarlane and it's somebody else who's much more traditional. But that's I've read, there's like 8 volumes. I read 4 last week. So.
Wow.
And so I'm squarely into the Vegas stuff, which is funny as hell that the Hulk's working as a leg breaker in a casino. That's just awesome. Wearing like the big full like stereotypical mafia 3-piece suit with the fedora. It's just funny as shit.
Well, and I told you we had a discount store that had like 15 of those figures in the suit with the hat.
Yeah.
Marvel Legends. And I went back to buy one, and somebody had apparently gone in and bought them all.
Bastards.
Motherfuckers.
Yes, that too. I'm gonna use something we just talked about to lead into the main thing we want to talk about. So you were talking about one of the things that got you into comics, right? So my gateway was those books right there, the Marvel Origins and Son of Origins and all those.
Yeah.
Got those over successive Christmases from my grandmother and or my aunt.
Oh,
so
nice.
That introduced me to like beyond Spider-Man and Captain America, right? And so I really dug Daredevil. I think that comes as no surprise. And I remember one time my mom and I were stopped at the 7-Eleven by the house in Lake Charles for something. And this was also like late 70s. So Hulk was on TV. So that was, of course, one of my jams, right? As it was for all of us. And so there was this cover, and it was Daredevil pinned against the back of an alley, the Hulk's shadow over him. The Daredevil's beat to shit, and the Hulk's looming over him, and it's like, Daredevil against the Hulk. Well, how will Daredevil survive? And it's this whole. It is a great issue, and it also ends with Ben Urich writing the lead that he knows Matt Murdock is Daredevil. That's the first time that comes up.
Oh, wow.
It's Frank Miller art in this book. It's very early in Frank Miller's run. Maybe he just wrote it. I can't remember, but it's very early in the Frank Miller Daredevil run. So this was like spring of 79-ish. So it's before Bullseye and Daredevil and the Ninjas and all that. So between the time I lived in Lake Charles and moved to Lafayette, the Ninjas and Bullseye and Elektra all came in. And so it was like, oh, Daredevil, what the hell happened in the last 3 months? I don't know what's going on. Suddenly he's a ninja. Okay, I'm okay with that.
A Catholic ninja.
With a lot of Catholic guilt. He's Spider-Man with Catholic guilt. That's what he is.
Little tiny throwing crucifixes.
Oh,
is that the one with the beard?
Yeah.
I love that one. That's
from the Chip Zdarsky run, which is really good.
Funko does, I think, 60% of their stuff is just kind of, run-of-the-mill, peg warmer. Here's another Deadpool for you. But then they come out with like that one, and I think Beta Ray Bill were like PX exclusives at the same time. Yes, the big giant Centurion with the big.
He's right there. He's right there.
And I know you had the big giant Marvel Select figure.
Yeah, I do. And I also have the Silver Surfer one. So the Select one is right there. Right there.
Okay. I can't name it now.
And the Silver Surfer one's over on the far side of that shelf. So I have a liberal sprinkling of Beta Ray Bill in here.
Yes, very nice.
But what the point of all that was to try to segue into, you brought to my attention a few weeks ago that Frank Miller, who I think it's fair to say we both are fans of, right? I mean, we could tell the Frank Miller Comic-Con story, but we'll save that for the end.
Yeah.
And I think, again, fairly influential in both of our comic fandom, I think it's safe to say. Am I?
Yeah. I mean, he did do. We've talked about this. That the same summer, Dark Knight Returns or the Dark Knight or whatever.
Mhm.
The initial since he's gone back to that well 4 or 5 times.
Right.
But the original Dark Knight comes out and opposite the Watchmen.
Mhm.
And
That was a big deal.
it was a big deal. And then, of course, I think the point that you were making, I agree with, is that for as much attention and praise that was heaped upon Watchmen for this deconstruction of superheroes, that it's Frank Miller's Batman, or that's
Dark
had the
Knight.
more
Yeah.
lasting impact on the industry, because I think the first time they really saw Dark and Gritty, which led to our favorite 80s title, Gun Slab and Bone Bruise.
God, that one gets overlooked so much. No one.
I wish they would collect those. That would be fantastic.
I would love to see someone do like a retro T-shirt
with Gun Slab and Bone Bruise on it,
or a hat with their logo on it.
Yeah. I'll see what I can find.
Okay, please do.
Gun Slab. Bone Bruise came in later.
They were trying to give him a sidekick, and
they were trying to soften the character.
Yeah.
So they brought in Bone Bruise as his like boy wonder type of guy, or ammo boy, or whatever the fuck he was.
Gopher.
Carried that big bat with the nails in it.
Yeah. Which they then used again in Walking Dead and McFoley. And
it was a cricket bat. It was like a pair of cricket bats. It was before Deadpool. Yeah, because before Deadpool had the katanas, it was him with the cricket bats.
That's right. You're right.
It's bruising time, I think. It's
cruising for a bruising. I thought it was
cruising for a bruising time. Yeah, something like that.
Shout out to Big Dave. So what you brought to my attention was that Frank Miller has been doing some cover work for Marvel, and since I read mostly like compilations at this point, I hardly ever see single issues anymore, right? So I'll see it in a couple of years when that compilation comes out, but I didn't know what was going on now. So you were kind of
they just release an art book of his covers, yes, because you figure that'll happen eventually.
Yeah, it will. But so you were kind enough to collect some that you thought were interesting examples of this, good and or bad, and we're just going to talk about them.
Yeah, because I think I found. I mean, I didn't go back too many years because there were some he did like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that you see the most now are like the most recent batch. In fact, I even saw a Sabretooth one on the shelves. We have a store, a vintage stock. It sells used toys, used DVDs, and some new comics. And I saw the penis nose Sabretooth on there. And it was like, should I? Nope.
There's one of them that you sent me that I've read the book of, and I read it as a compilation, and we'll talk about it when we get to it. Okay. Watch this. Boop. All
right.
Look at that. So first one you said, Deathlock. Interesting choice. I like this one.
I do too, and we'll get into this later because as we look through all of them, you're going to notice, like, okay, so when Marvel does these, they're incentive covers, and there's an incentive cover that'll have the title and the masthead on it,
mm-hmm.
and then there'll be the Virgin versions, which will not have any of that stuff on it. And so what I try to do is find pictures of the Virgin versions. So that you can kind of see the artwork just by itself without, the logo slapped like right in the middle of his forehead.
And I didn't stretch or do anything because I wanted them to be how you sent them to me, so they'd be proportional. So some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but you get I could put just that on the screen, but then we go away.
There we go.
Okay. No, then we're not there. So
yeah. This is kind of fun. It does remind me a little of Bill Sienkiewicz's the rat guy in Moon Knight that had like the big glowing red eyes. He did like a sleep experiment and he went nuts, and
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And so that I saw that because I did send you a picture earlier this evening of a Frank Miller. I think it's a new cover for Ronin,
It's
and
in here.
you're
It's
going to
in here.
see if you're going to rip people off, rip off yourself. So
Deathlock is a good choice for his style. It
oh
plays in his
yeah.
strengths for sure. Some of these are just bad decisions, right? I mean, they're just not characters he should be drawing, quite honestly.
Correct.
But this is one that his style definitely lends itself to. There are the words.
There we go. And that's a good one. It fills the space because that's the other thing. When you take the title block off, the illustrations get kind of wonky because they were clearly designed with
Yes.
the masthead in mind, so that the characters like maybe scrunched down or pushed off to a side or something to make room for it.
Yeah, that one
Nothing's
looks like the
going in.
headshot they used to just put at the top of them, like by the
Oh yeah.
back in the day. Yeah.
November 68 cents.
Yeah. You ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's go with it.
I don't remember who's next, but we'll see.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Didn't like
The
this
Hulk.
one.
You didn't like this one.
I
did
don't
not
like
like
this
it
one.
at first. I like it more the more I've looked at it.
Okay.
And it's because I think the Hulk being in the middle of that maelstrom of rock and all debris, to me, is the character. Also looks a lot like Marv. But
I haven't spent as much time with these. I put this slideshow together in a hurry earlier. Yeah, there's some Marv there for sure.
but my first reaction was I didn't like this one until I went back and tried to find the one without the masthead. And then it kind of grew on me as I was doing my search.
I guess I feel like the Hulk ought to be just maybe like 10% bigger. I feel like he gets lost in the field of rocks.
He
It
does
looks like he just pummeled the thing, is what it looks like to me.
he broke the thing.
He did. That's what it looks
Busted
like.
him wide open. Cracked him
Yeah.
like a walnut.
That's what I got from this one.
I get that. But like I said, once I started thinking about it as the Hulk character just being at the center of all this chaos, I started to like this one a lot more. And if we didn't have our background, nope, I take that back. He really does kind of stay lost in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because I've been reading a lot of Hulk, right? So I'm like in that headspace where he's just bigger than everything all the time. And for him to be so lost seems weird to me. And I think it may have as much to do with my headspace right now as it does with the drawing. So now we're going to go from that to this. And I'm going to let you go first.
Fucking awful.
Okay, that's what I had. I feel like this one and this one are companion pieces, like they're busting through the wall coming at each other. But this one is, I mean, I don't even understand why he's got the forelock falling down on his head.
Oh no, there is so much going on with this one that I looked at it. If you zoom in on the face is just awful. I don't even know what the hell. Yes, I agree that there might be the idea of some symmetry or companion piece, which is why I ended up liking the Hulk one so much better, because I thought it was a more successful version of whatever this was meant to be.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
So it's better because what I'm comparing it to is trash.
This is one of the worst ones of all the ones you sent me. This one.
Oh, absolutely.
This was horrible. And can I just say, as an aside, thanks to Brave New World Order, I have had to answer so many questions about, did they make the Red Hulk up for the movie, or is that a real character? It's a real character. They don't make anything up. Okay, it's all from a book somewhere.
Exactly.
For better or worse. All right, what's next?
Oh yeah.
Okay, this one. I like this one.
That is my favorite. But what I sent you, and I hope you tacked it on at the end.
Oh,
it'd be nice if you could. Oh, is it next?
It's next.
Okay. So this one is one of the few that, I mean, if you were going to say, where's the Silver Surfer title going to go? I think we can all guess. It's going right there over the fist.
Yeah.
But I dig this one. I think this is one of the more successful ones. And it's because we're going to get into a batch where, placement on the page makes a difference, and using all the space available makes a difference. And this one makes use of the space available. You've got the board going into the center. You've got the color, the purple, the fingers. I mean, this is a cool one. This is one of my favorites.
The what I liked about this, I think the most, was the hand and how Kirby-like it is.
Yes, with all the
So, yes, all the little gewgaws and gadgets and squares and things. And even like the energy behind it is the Kirby bubbles.
yes.
I think that maybe, but this one, I love this one. I love this
No,
one.
that one's a cool one. And that's one where you're like, man, that'd be a great poster if they chopped
Oh,
off
yeah.
just under the marble and took some of
Mhm.
that dead space off the top.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting thing I learned when I was pulling the images off my phone earlier. It said, "Would you like to make a watch face for your watch out of any of this picture?" I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm giving serious thought to having this as a watch face. I'm not going to lie. This one or one of the Daredevil ones I really liked would be a really cool watch face. You know,
Those
which
are
one I'm
all
talking.
good choices. Yeah.
I also have a really cool. Anyway, I'll tell you later. Anyway, but yeah, this is one of the best ones of the batch you sent me for sure.
Yeah. That one just has some pop to it. The purple,
Yep.
the red, the yellow. Yes.
All
But what
right.
was interesting about it?
Yes, was this. Doop. Now, my first question is: did he write a second
I think he did.
volume of Ronin?
Yeah, because the FMP is Frank Miller Productions.
Okay, I've read Ronin. That book does not need a sequel.
No, it did not. But I this popped up as I was like reading up on Frank before.
Mhm.
I was doing research. What
You
a
came
first that
prepared.
is. I came prepared. That popped up, and I was like, "Oh shit, I got to send that to him because if you're going to rip somebody off, might as
Yeah,
well be
be
yourself."
yourself. Yeah, that is the same hand with different shapes coming off of it. This one has skin tags. I don't understand why, but
Well, everybody in the original Ronin had shit coming off of them.
that's true. It's been so long since I read that, but yeah, that was muddy. As I recall, that was muddy art.
Yes, yes. But I think it was the first time he really went headlong into this style.
Yeah, it was for sure, for sure. So yeah, so this came after this.
I'm not sure the order of when things
Well,
came.
one or the other, but that is the same hand. In
That's
either,
I need an idea for a cover. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. Who did that? Me. Great. No royalties.
all right. So I don't remember what's next. Okay. I don't
What
hate
if?
this one,
I
but
don't love it either.
right, it's right in the middle. I don't like the headgear.
Because you have no purple in the headgear, you really lose what that is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
Good.
the overuse of black hurts this one.
Well, without knowing what that is, it's just it looks like the Wrecker, and rather than Galactus. It's a dude in a purple mask.
With with energy things popping out.
Yeah, it's like Omega beams coming out of the side of his head. I don't.
Yes.
It definitely needs.
Yes, Omega beams. Darkseid is.
Apparently, he shoots his out of his ears. It's harder to aim that way.
That's the Lost Summers boy. Who is like a kid clearing his ears in the pool, in a fight. He does that, beams shoot out. It's really
yeah, I don't. This one, I think it's Corky Summers. Yeah, it's definitely the headgear that ruins this one for me. I think otherwise, I'd like it a lot more. But I know it's Galactus, but if you
that's
don't,
because you know what Galactus looks like.
exactly. Well, I know what he's supposed to look like. Sometimes, apparently, he's a giant cloud.
Which is, I think, the stuff down below
Yes,
the hand.
that's cinematic Galactus down here. So yeah, this one's a loser for me because of that.
I would agree with that one. It loses a lot of points.
Yeah, it's close, but it fails.
Yeah.
All right. This one, on the other hand,
it works
much better
because you can identify that is, I don't know, Skrull.
It's Thanos, man.
I know it's Thanos.
Okay.
No, this one I like. Again, the one thing, my one quibble is he left all that space at the top because that's where the title's going to go.
Yeah, and my use of a black background didn't help any. Um, but yeah, I mean, it tightened up. This would be a really cool T-shirt.
Yes, I think so. And if you cut the top off, like, yeah, like right above, yeah, that would be really tight.
Yeah, or like a button.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, really cool button. All right,
what do we got next?
Your boy Mooney.
This is one of 2 Moon Knight covers he did.
Yes,
and I don't remember the episodes where he had a translucent cape
or a stackable cape.
Or a stackable cape. The stackable thing doesn't bother me because it's supposed to kind of like draw you around
Yeah.
the circle. But it's because it's a circle behind it and it's in the middle of the page and the circle's cut off. It's just a weird compositionally. And I think I would have liked it better without the outline of the body and the cape, just the hands.
Yeah, but I think if you did that, you run the risk of it all just running together, right? I think the artistic reason for that is so that the cape doesn't blend into the moon in its entirety. I think that's maybe kind of what gives it some motion. I could be wrong. I'm not the art major, but that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, this one is just, it's kind of cool, but it's weird. I think I know what they're trying to do with it, and I don't think it quite works.
Okay.
It doesn't for me.
Yeah, I like the other one better.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
That one is cool as hell. I found the Virgin online, and it's here in the basement somewhere. Yeah, I found the Virgin online, and I don't know. I think because it's Moon Knight, I was able to get it for like $20. And some of those Virgin covers are going for 50 and 60, so I feel like I got a deal. And I'm of the opinion that if I were to get any of my books slabbed, this would be the one that I would do it for.
It would look cool.
Oh, I think it would look cool. And you know what I like about this one is that he does use the whole page. Because if you see it with the masthead, it's real small, like here up in the corner.
Okay.
And you've got the crescents and you've got the lines of the crescents, and then you've got the lines kind of going in the opposite direction on his forearm, the lines on the cape. I mean, I really dig this one. I do. I'm playing favorites, but this is my favorite. But it's up there with the Silver Surfer one.
Yeah, no, I like this one a lot. It's speaking of playing favorites, I think we both will before this is over with. But no, there's action, there's movement in this one that's not in that other one, right? I mean, you can feel like that he's about to throw the dart.
He's about to gut you with it.
The moonerang, whatever it's called.
Moonerang. Yes, he's about to crescent darts, I believe.
That's
official. Yeah. But it does feel like he's about to cut your face off.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Like he's holding you down with the hands you can't see, and this one's fixing to come down and join it. Yes,
just peel you like a bushman.
Exactly. All right. I bet you like this one.
I do like this one.
I do too.
His Spider-Man has always been really busy with the webs. Like, you see anything he's drawn with Spider-Man, he's like just gone apeshit with the webs. And I like this one. I like the pattern of the bricks. I have a small quibble because he's got little ninja separate toes instead of
okay. I thought I didn't have my glasses on. I thought that's what I was seeing. He does have like tabby boots on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You took those off. This would be a fabulous poster, T-shirt, print, whatever.
I love the way he does the mask eyes on him. How big they are.
Yes,
yes. I love that.
And with the costume being in black, it just this is one where it looked like he spent a little time that he and gave it some thought, as opposed to drawing the little Hulk rocks everywhere.
I'll draw half a Hulk. Oh, I got this unused sketch of Marv. I'll use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just color him green and race away.
All righty.
But that's a
Since
good
we-
one. That is a
that-
good one.
That's one of the ones that I thought, oh, that would make a good watch face.
That one would make an excellent watch face,
It
because
would.
with all the black, you only see Spider-Man because of the brickwork. It's a incredible. This one's really cool. And
Yeah.
again, we're playing favorites here. So
It's all right.
yeah, but if it sucked, I'd say that.
Okay. Now, do you know this
Ultimate
character?
Universe something? I have no idea who that
It's,
character is.
that's the maker. That is the evil Ultimate Reed Richards.
Okay. I don't know the character, but I don't hate the drawing. I think that with this kind of broken up layout, like he's got here, the Hulk would have worked better.
Yeah.
If he'd put some more distance and some more black behind that. But this one doesn't bother. This one, it's all right. Middle of the pack, upper middle of the pack for me.
Yeah, I really like the glowing emblem going over the shoulder.
Mhm.
It kind of gives me the impression that that's what's making the rocks pop out. Like it's not blowing them up, but making them. It's
Float.
playing the light is giving them some context, some texture.
Uh-huh.
I think that's, at least I'm not expressing it well, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, that they're tied together somehow.
yeah, and how the light also goes across the mask, and like
Yes.
how the light is used for make things pop out of the black that the rest of it kind of gets sucked up into.
So, like in college, my old art professor would talk about how, if you do it, like he'd talk about Rembrandt, who would have like, part of the painting would be light, part would be dark, and that you get the interest when you have light in the dark and dark in the light. And that's what I think you've got kind of going on here. You
Yeah.
clearly have light and then dark, and then you've got that play going back and forth. It's a very cool drawing. And like I said, upper middle of the pack.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the Human Torch?
Yeah, that's fucking awful. That's
Yeah. I couldn't tell if it was Sunspot or the Human Torch. I assumed it was the Human Torch.
Yeah, it's
or some sort of Aboriginal magma man. I couldn't tell what the hell it was. It's awful.
This one just does not work at all.
Yeah.
And it's also the series of the character all bunched up, either center or very close to the center, coming like right at you. That Moon Knight is sort of that same character in the middle coming right at you. This one, you're going to get into some Deadpool and some Wolverines that are that same character in the middle coming right at you, kind of a thing.
It's like the reverse of the Jack Kirby pose we always talk about, where they're coming at you like it's like it's kind of the exact reverse of that. Everything is tucked in as opposed to spread out.
Yeah, that's Slab Man, because everything's just a slab.
All right, I think we're done with this one.
No, let's not. The less said, the better. So again,
this is from when Wolverine guest starred in Ronin.
Yes, very much so.
In case you didn't realize he was an X-Man, he made his hair an X just to make sure, and to mirror the claw lines, or the bloody coke or whatever that is he was snorting off the page.
It does look like cocaine.
It does.
It's Christmas Coke. He's done all the green. He's moved on to the cherry.
He's got a lick 'em stick. That's all.
But yes, this is very much the Ronin style of Frank Miller's Ronin style.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would like to. This would be more successful without the X behind it.
Yes.
Because then it's going to be more like the Daredevils that are down the sequence, which I think are almost the same, not really the same pose, but the same kind of a pose.
Yeah.
Sort of balled up, coming at you, middle of the page, and yet there's no background on those Daredevils that really make it pop. And I think this would pop without the X behind it. I think
I'm confused by the combination of the cowboy boots and the cinematic leather pants. I don't like it. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I have a high tolerance for odd Wolverine drawings. Trust me. But this one doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. He looks like he should be one of the hillbillies in The Hills Have Eyes. I don't. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, no,
mixing
wait a minute.
everything up.
Yeah, I don't have like I'm not like all gung ho on these. I think it's interesting that Frank's been away from Marvel for so long, and then he's coming back and doing these covers. And when you read some of the shit people are posting online, some people are like, "Oh, you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He did all this." Other people are like, "This sucks. This is ugly." And I'm thinking, okay, let's be real. This is his style. It's what he's been working on and working in since Ronin, since he left, Dark Knight behind. And, he goes back to this kind of a style every so often. Or, I mean, when he goes back to the Dark Knight this is how it looks. So the drawing from that sense doesn't, I don't think he's lost a step. I don't think anything like that. I think that that's the style he draws in, and you take it or leave it. And that if you're really going to judge these, you kind of just have to judge, do they work on their own? Does it work as an illustration? Does it work as a comic book cover? Would that make you buy that book? I don't think that would.
The interesting thing, well, one of the things I thought of was, he was the illustrator of the first Wolverine miniseries.
Yes.
With that iconic cover. So it's not like he doesn't have familiarity with this character. And I don't think I can forgive whatever this is based on that. I mean,
it's the claws too that just look like glass shards sticking out the back of his hands.
Yeah, you lose the claws in their entirety. You think he would have put one of the hands up?
Oh yeah,
or turned it over so it was pointing this way instead of underneath. So I don't know. I think that might. I honestly think if the hands were turned over and the claws were sticking out, it would be a much better drawing because it would be more like Wolverine.
Well, and I think that you're going to see one of Wolverine in costume where that scenario happens.
All right, well, let's see if that's the next one. Like that one?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that one. Yes.
See, that one works better for me.
Oh, 100 times better. Nothing in the background to distract from the character. You actually see the claws. I think the outline in yellow and red is an interesting choice, but it gives it more pop off of the cover. This is like 1,000 times more successful attempt at whatever the hell the last one was.
Yeah, I feel like if you were able to pan down, you would see Colossus having just
chucking him. Yeah, you see the big. There we go. That should have been a big hand behind him.
Another big hand, right?
Another big hand throwing.
This one's silvery. Yeah,
yeah.
This is fastball special.
Very much so, and it's a very. I like this one.
Yeah,
and I so hate the last one that this was like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise.
If I had one gripe, it would be the loogie. But but otherwise, this one I like. This one's kind of above the maker in the upper middle for me.
Yes. I would agree with that assessment. I think pretty much the same.
Okay.
So yeah. Again,
I did not stretch these out. This one hurts me.
I don't know what the hell's going on with his hair.
He's Der Fledermaus from The Tick.
Yes, he also just looks deflated. He just like this is old man Logan, not living by himself in a wasteland, but
this is if Clint Eastwood got to play Wolverine.
This is him at Bud's every 1 o'clock till 1 in the morning. Yeah, because he's unemployed and just at the bar.
This one's awful. I hate this one. I don't like this one at all.
I don't. I'm not a big fan of the choices he made with Deadpool in the background. Rob Liefeld has been posting some of these. This is where I first saw him. I somehow or another got to filing. I guess if you speak badly about the person's art style long enough, the algorithm picks up on that and says, "Oh, you think that's funny? Check this out." Fuck, he's got a blog, He was ecstatic with this one. He thought this one was great. He went into about Frank being an icon, and that was the part I didn't like. Is that yeah, the man did a lot, but you can't. I don't with the volume of these that he's done. You can't just give him the benefit of the doubt in saying it's Frank being Frank. Some of these I think he really tried on. Some of these he just cashed the check. And this is what he scribbled on the back of the check when he endorsed it. They just scanned that and sent it in.
Yeah, I mean, if you put this one side by side with that Spider-Man, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, not even
it's
close.
clear where the enthusiasm lay, right? I mean,
Yes, this one feels kind of obligatory.
yeah, somebody said I need a Wolverine and a Deadpool, and he went, "Oh fuck!" All
Oh,
right.
those guys again. It's like when I asked Bill Sienkiewicz to draw Spider-Man. He just went, "Oh, those goddamn webs."
Well, at least he knew who you're talking about. You mean the
Yes.
no-face guy that I drew for 3 years? I don't remember that.
Ah,
All right. Now this is a better Deadpool.
this is a much better Deadpool. This one is again the action pose jumping right at you. This one would look
Yeah.
good. Okay, you take that one, the Wolverine in yellow and blue by himself with the claws
Uh-huh.
out. Put those in frames side by side. You got a man cave to be. Proud's not
I
quite the right word, but you're not as embarrassed by that thing.
I really like the Jackson Pollock jizz on the back of it too.
The ejaculate. Yes.
That's what it looks like, but it works, right?
It
It
does
looks like
work
it
because
kind of looks like he's sliced through the red, and the white is bleeding through.
yeah, exactly. He sliced through the cover and he's coming at you.
Yeah,
No, I do dig this one. This is a late find. I think I found that one this morning or Monday. I
yeah,
think Monday. It was like, oh damn, that's a good one.
yeah. This one's really good. This is one of my favorites.
I would agree with that. I'm back and forth on this one.
I'm
trying
the
to figure
same.
out how he's holding the swords.
You're thinking too much. I think it's a good interpretation of Blade. I don't care for the sword styling.
Yes.
I think it's a good interpretation of Blade, though.
I would agree with that. Yeah, because like I said, I go back and forth on this one. I do really like the illustration of Blade, but those swords, man, it just bugs me. It's like, how are they? Where are they
Because
coming from?
he has to have the hilt like here.
Yeah, he's holding it
By the hilt under his arms. It makes no sense.
right. He's scratching his armpits with those. That's what the blood is.
Seems like a bad idea.
It really does. Yes, it's like Miles. He's bleeding from the armpits.
But upper middle for me, I think, on this one. It's in that club.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's pretty cool, but it just there's some wonkiness to it to kind of knock it down a bit.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I am on this one because it's like Captain America. That's the solar powered renewable Captain America. He's just
that, or he's like Ant-Man, and that's an arc reactor. I don't know what's going on there.
exactly. I don't hate it, but I also just don't get it. It just doesn't.
It's another one of dead center panel, right? It's like he did one with every major character, but
yeah.
Like, is he did he jump out of a plane? Is he
flying at us?
Is
he
been
going
born?
around the world to reverse time to save Captain Carter? I think that's what's happening here.
I'm wondering, is he jumping into or out of a nuclear explosion? Don't know what this is.
Yeah, that one is kind of confusing.
All right, so we're going from this. Okay,
because we're going to follow up with
the Dark Knight Returns. Yeah.
Dark
Again,
Returns.
If you're going to steal from yourself.
I will say though, he has the one Rob Liefeld that they always make fun of, where like Captain America has this huge giant brick wall of a chest, and this is that pose, only from the back. Because this anatomy, in order to get the star on the back, is so fucked up. I mean, I like the element of the star popping off there, but the anatomy is so jacked, I just can't. Um, I can't sign off on this. It's like, you could have put the A on the other side so you didn't have to move his arm. And it almost feels like that's what happened, is that he had it and like, oh, we're going to put the A there. And he's like, oh shit. So he cut it out of the drawing and then moved it back.
You might not be wrong. It is way back, isn't it?
It is way back, and and then they moved the head forward. I mean, yeah.
Compared to the other one, though, it's so much. I like it so much more than the other one. It's like the Hulk and Red Hulk. It's or the two Wolverines. This one
or the two Wolverines. Yeah,
is so much less offensive to my eye that I like it, despite the other one.
Despite of the wonkiness of the
because obviously the obvious call out to his other work, right, probably helps. And this is the one I said I'd read the series and is actually pretty good. I don't remember seeing this drawing in the trade, but it's been a while since I read it. So interesting.
Yeah, this one.
The shield is weird too. There's only one circle in the shield. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, I can't get past. If the anatomy was better, I would like it better.
If you hadn't pointed out the arm to me, I'd be okay. Now that you pointed out to me, I can't unsee it.
What is that attached to?
Like he Mel Gibson did out of his. It's like the rotator cuff is he's just hanging there and flopping around.
He's Amigo that you broke in the little rubber band inside. Right after this, that thing hits the ground and the arms pop right off.
It's a Z-Vos, man. So you can pivot them all the way back. Oh my God. All right. We're moving on. Okay. I love this one.
That was a good one.
Thank you for this one. I would never have seen this one. That's Loki to me. Tom Hiddleston is not Loki. This is Loki.
Yes, because he's got like the old man eyes kind of a thing. I like, he could have drawn shoulders in there. It'd have been okay. Even without him, it's okay. When you see the cover with the masthead, the Loki is small, like right up there in the top, in the middle.
Okay.
So that one works in a big way, and he uses the whole page for it. So
this one is. I'm reminded of when we watched the first season of Loki, and I got so excited when old man Loki showed up with the horned helmet, and Laura was like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "That's Loki." She's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "No, that's Loki."
That is Loki.
Yeah.
The old tired trickster. Yes. No, that one's a cool one. I
like the little snarl on the right hand side of his mouth too. That's just a nice little touch.
Oh yeah, this is
up there with the Spider-Man for me. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is one where he took some time.
Yeah. Again, I'm playing favorites, but yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Which is okay. This one works.
This one, not so much.
I first thought it was the Vulture.
That's fair. I knew it was. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say the way he's drawn the face, and I wish I'd gotten you a bigger picture of this one. I think I called him Dick Nose, and if you look at this one, on a screen where you can blow it up, his nose looks very much like a penis, but it also makes him look very old, and that takes him from Sabretooth to the Vulture.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally see it.
But that being said, bunched up in the middle, this one works for me, even though if I don't know that it's Sabretooth right away.
I'm just trying to understand why he's got the toile on his shoulders rather than fur, but other than that, yeah, this one's okay. Doesn't move me, but anyway, all right. Now let's talk about good shit.
Okay, this is one where he's playing favorites.
Yes, clearly.
I tried so hard to find one without the Daredevil behind him because that one is so much better than it's better than Wolverine, he still has kind of that solid blobby geometric kind of slashing lines, but that one's just cool.
It really is. I love the way the the baton is wrapped around the wire to give him some stability. I mean,
Yes. Yeah, this is one of those this is one of yeah. I mean, Moon Knight's probably going to be my favorite, but this one is right up there with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've got one, maybe two left here. Let's see. This is my favorite one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's any surprise to you.
Not at all.
This is the one that would make a great watch face. This
Absolutely.
is the watch face right here because he's looking up at you.
And he's kind of tight, circle, composed. Yeah. Yes. Like I said, this is the one. This one and the previous one, I was like, oh, well, clearly he was emotionally involved in this one because the proportions are right. They're not so Ronin-esque. They are more finished drawings, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they look like the Daredevil 180, 179, 180, 283, that run right there, but an evolved style, right?
Yes.
It's like he took the things he likes about what he does and applied it to that, and that's what you got in those two drawings.
And kind of kept it more traditional comic book looking.
Yeah.
And I think that one and the other Daredevil really do have a lot of pop and sizzle. No, they were both very cool drawings. I like them both.
Yeah. So
there's one I was like, oh man, I hope this is one. Oh yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah, this is the one. And I think I played favorites in the order too. I made this the last one. I won't lie. But yeah, I mean, all right. So your favorite one, Moon Knight, then the tall.
Yeah,
Moon
like
Knight?
my top ones were the Moon Knight, the two Daredevils, and then the Silver Surfer, and then probably Loki after that, and then the Hulk. Those are like my top, I guess, 6.
Okay.
Although I see the Daredevils as a set.
I would say the Daredevils, the Surfer, and the Loki for me with the Moon Knight, the Spider-Man. I'm sorry,
And the Spider-Man's a good one too.
The Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man would be my number 5. Daredevils, I mean the Moon Knight's probably 6, but that Spider-Man's clean. So
yeah, they're those are the. I mean, yeah, those are the ones that look less like a cash grab than that one Wolverine and some of the others. The Red Hulk. Oh,
that's the bottom of the barrel. That one is just awful.
Yeah, and then let the less said about it, the better.
So we're done with it. Well, thank you for that. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I like it when we can apply things we know, so we're not just complete and utter
batshit. No, I think it's fun. Yeah, like when we did the Copa logos and we do the minor league stuff.
Yeah, I saw. Speaking of which, I saw the Astros are debuting a new City Connect next month.
Yeah.
So
I think of the first generation is probably all. Although Boston's made the yellow one of their alternates, and they're getting a new City Connect.
Okay.
Oh, I saw something that the Corpus Christi Hooks are changing their logo.
They did.
It's fucking terrible.
It's awful. It looks nothing like a minor league logo. It's awful. I saw it this morning. I was like, they had it side by side with the old, which is cheesy but fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a Hooks hat because we went to Corpus for something, and it's like 2 C's that are. It's just 2
fish
C's that are fish hooks. That one's fine. I like that one. So, hey, guess what?
What?
It's time
for
what's on your desk.
Oh, what is on the desk today? We had so many. It's been
a while.
We've got the sound effect I'm throwing.
I've been doing it for months now, dude.
I know. Yeah, but I know. But without the sound effect, I'm like, oh shit. That's the thing. The cool stuff on my desk was the Micronauts omnibus. A friend of mine, he being a group of friends, bought somebody's Funko collection.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So, and then what we did is we divvied it up. We all threw in the money, and then we did a draft.
Oh, nice.
That's how we divvied up the product.
That's fair.
And we did a snake draft. and I got the turn, the number 5
Nice.
position. So, I went in there and I told my buddy, I was like, dude, I picked the first 4 picks. I knew what was. I mean, I knew right away. It's like that one's gone, that one's gone, that one's gone, that one's gone. I don't need 2 of those 4, which means that when I come up at 5 and again at 6, so I was able to fill out a lot of holes in my collection. But this dude had like 125 pieces, and when you get down to the end, and you're like, I don't want any of this shit, you know. And so you end up just kind of, oh yeah, we'll do that. Oh no, he's not in there. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, when you get down to the end, you're just kind of like picking trash.
Yeah, that's how those snake drafts work. I've done enough of them for fantasy sports. You're going, do I really have to fill this hole in my roster? Can I just have a goose egg here? I don't care.
But I had a plan. I had prioritized everything I wanted. And then just as pieces came off the board, you just move everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I also tracked what everybody was picking. So I could, and I made it a searchable, sortable Excel. So I'd say, okay, that guy's going for these. So he'll probably get this one and this one and this. I picked like 4 rounds, just like straight up what went. And then I'd go and I'd say, that one's looking for these things. So he's probably going to go after this one and this one next. They're just picking low count stuff. So they're going after this. So I can get in here and get my 2 that I want and then my 2 that I want.
All right. So you don't have them, but what did you take with 5 and 6 in the snake draft?
So 5 and 6, Funko did a line called Spastic Plastics, which are kind of fun. They were like these little rotocast pieces. They're not articulated at all. They used to package them in tubes, which if you can find them in the tubes, great. But those tubes are low quality plastic and they yellow and break like motherfuckers.
Gotcha.
So I managed to get 2 of the characters, like a guy named Chet and a guy named Luther, a glow in the dark piece, and then like a very hard to find, low edition, like 96 piece.
Oh, wow.
So I got those. And that was great. The next round, I filled 2 more holes. The third round, I filled a hole and then just picked something at random. And then everybody was starting to turn their attention to other stuff. I grabbed vinyl toys. Some of them are very cheaply made, and some of them are cheaply packaged.
Mm-hmm.
Funko did a box set of like Andy Warhol pop color monkeys. And
well, you've got my attention now.
Yes, the monkey assassin. I'll tell you what, I'll run over there and get it. Hang on.
Okay, I'll be here.
Sitting on a stool, my legs are tightened up. I'm sitting there going, God, I hope it doesn't show me running because it's going to be this hobble thing.
I just put on like oh, nice.
And
That's
so
pretty.
the Pop Monkey collection.
Oh, nice.
There's 4 of them.
Pink
and orange.
Nice. And you have all 4 of them now.
Well, it was a box set.
Oh, okay.
So I got the whole box set.
As 1 turn or as 2?
No, this is 1 pick.
Nice.
The other one that I got in that same turn is an old glossy black called the Shadow Assassin, where only the whites of the eyes are painted in the they're a pretty cool set, but cheaply packaged. The plastic that they were in had not just kind of like yellowed, but started to break down.
Oh no.
So I had to wash package grease off of these things.
Ooh.
So I've been washing them like every other night in Dawn dish soap. I was like, hey, if I can clean ducks in the
right,
garden, I can clean monkeys in my sink. So trying to get the sticky and the goop off of them, and I'm like going, I should probably keep the box because it's worth more, but the box is falling apart, and that plaque has got to be toxic.
Yeah.
I just want to throw.
Get as
But
far
anyway,
away from it as you can. Those are cool. Those are
put as
very
much.
cool.
So yeah, that was one of my picks, and I knew that I'd touched a nerve because they're like, I'm picking the 96 glow, and I get this one and this one, and I'm like, I'll take the monkey assassins and the shadow assassin, and I'm like, oh god damn, that's what I was gonna take.
And that's a good feeling when you're in one of those drafts when you know you've just fucked somebody's turn.
And I did know because I was tracking what they were taking, and it was like, oh, they're not even paying attention to this stuff. So yeah, they're kind of fun. They I mean they're 20 years old at this point. But they've probably got 3 or 4 more baths to go before I think they're clean enough and they don't Spider-Man to your hand, doing this, and they won't come off. So we'll go with that as our
All right.
thing on your desk.
Well, I have something cool. Also, Simeon, I have my Christmas gift from you. Which, thank you, by the way. This is awesome. I unboxed it right before we went on the air. Got me Dr. Zaius from the NECA line. Very cool. Very cool. He comes with
Like
the
6 sets.
the cane, and the law.
Nice.
He can actually hold the scroll.
Ape shall not kill
Kill
ape.
ape. Yep. So yes, he is going to be. There he is. It's either the law or the Persian Club of the Iron Sheik. I can't decide which.
Fuck you, Hulk Hogan.
Fuck you, jabroni. But this is so cool. Thank you so much.
You're
He will.
welcome.
He. I opened it up, and my wife and my children go, "Oh, something else for the monkey room." And it's the callback. I was like, "Yeah, it's not just something. It's Dr. Zaius. Damn it."
Dr. Zaius,
Dr.
Dr. Zaius.
Put some respect on his name.
Take his name out your mouth.
So yes, very cool. I'm looking forward to putting him in his rightful place as the lawgiver.
That's right. Paul Williams in his finest role.
So hey, we've gone like an hour and a half. Look at us.
Wow.
So
all right, good for us.
Yeah. So I guess that's gonna do. What's that? We should prepare more often. We should prepare more often.
There's that, yes.
So I know last time when we were signing off, we said we were going to do follows this time, but I liked your idea much better. And so we will do. Look, now Dr. Zaius is apparently shooting pool. I don't.
Oh yes, he was a notable pool shark.
It's in the way that you use it. So maybe next time we'll do the follows that we promised this time, and we will be back on schedule now. I've gotten my work under control, so I think that we are good to get back on schedule. So this is the first week of February, so maybe the week after Valentine's Day and the Brave New World Order comes out, we'll get back together and talk about things. There's a couple things I had written down that I'll save for next time. I guess as we head out, it is a big game weekend. Are you Chief forward, or are you rooting for the Chiefs or the Eagles in this one?
I would like the Chiefs to win, and I've jinxed it by saying that.
No, you haven't.
So I would like for it to be a decisive victory, so that because right now it's like after every week I go online and just start deleting. And here's another example of the Chiefs being handed a gift by the referee. Like delete. They're just better prepared at the end of the game. I'm sorry, you guys aren't. Delete. Look at this hold. It's like, oh my God, there's holding on every play. I'd like there to be a victory resounding enough that those people would just be like, well, I guess maybe they were pretty good. Or, just the NFL scripted it. I saw that online and thought I'd take it for myself.
It's in the book of secrets.
Yeah, that's right. You fucking Nick Cage wannabe motherfucker.
and Mahomes shall lead them to the promised land thrice.
Thrice, yes. I found out today Tommy Tuberville supposedly coached Pat Mahomes at Texas Tech, which is actually Cliff Kingsbury, but shut the fuck up, Donnie. He's the one who goes, "This is Tommy Tuberville, great senator, Coach Patrick Mahomes." It's like, no, he didn't.
No.
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 That was Cliff Kingsbury and I think Mike Leach.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, all right. Well, we are officially at an hour and a half, so I'm going to call episode 82 of Slurp Toast, a podcast, done. We will see you in 2 weeks. And until then, I'm still Bruce.
Monkey.
And
I'm still Steve.
Trebuchet.
Trebuchet, maybe.
Good night, kids.